You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Black and White Sports fans, we have been covering woke sports on this channel for a while. For the greater part of a year and a half, that is what blew up this channel. However, lately, guys, we have actually been covering transgenders in sports, especially when it comes to trans females who are actually biological males competing in female sports. And as you expect, it goes very, very badly for the biological females. They are at a physical disadvantage. However, the feminists out there, they're not saying anything about this. Now, we've actually covered Leah Thompson on his channel, probably in about 4 videos or so, smashing records over there at UPenn. And when Leah Thompson was actually Will Thomas, he was actually second team all Ivy League. He wasn't a scrub. He wasn't a tomato can. He was pretty good. And now he's competing against females and destroying records. And these females, they're very upset. The teammates of Leah/Will Thomas, very upset with him competing on a team when they know they cannot win. Now, I must say, shout out to Greg Foreman over at Black Conservative Perspective. I was just watching his video on this, and this just sums up all of the craziness that we have been talking about, because he had a video where the greatest female fighter of all time actually got into the ring against a male. And the only reason why she did this is because she was just that dominant. She wiped out all of the competition in with females. So somebody told her it's probably a good idea if you fight a male. And guys, you probably know it did not end very good for her. So check this out. Her name is Lucia Riker. She is a Dutch fighter. And she was really, really dominant, guys. She had a professional boxing record of 17-0 with 14 knockouts. I mean, she was Mike Tyson-like in the boxing ring. But not only that, guys, she actually was a kickboxer also. Dominated in that. Never lost a fight. She had 36 matches and won 35 of them, 25 by knockout. And she had 1 draw. So we're actually going to watch this video here that's on YouTube, kind of summing up how she actually got to the point to where she was actually fighting a man. So let's play this, and we're going to react to this as well. Here we go.
Can the best female fighter defeat male fighters?
Yeah, she's the female boxer who was really the best in the world. Nobody wanted to fight Lucia Riker. So she was sparring with guys.
So you have Dana White right there saying that she was just that dominant. She was sparring with guys. So she is really, really good.
I mean, she was probably the best female boxer ever. And nobody knows who the hell she is.
Women fighting men is a very popular topic in combat sports. Years ago, media reported that Ronda Rousey could beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight.
Hell no. We all know that would never happen. Never happen. I mean, no man has ever defeated Floyd Mayweather. Now, what happened to Ronda Rousey last check? She got knocked the kingdom come by a woman. Just imagine what Floyd Mayweather could do to her.
Today, there are still a lot of speculations that Amanda Nunes could beat male champions.
No, can't happen.
Well, this is literally the best female fighter of all time. And she actually fought a man. Nicknamed the Lady Tyson, Lucia Riker is a woman who conquered the world of kickboxing and boxing. During her reign across 2 sports, the media dubbed her as the most dangerous woman in the world. She hit so hard that in a sports science show, her punches exceeded the force of a male fighter by 200 pounds.
All right, stop right there. You can see right here, they're not even throwing the same kind of punch. They're not. She has more of a hook. He's throwing more of a straight shot. Let's just be clear about that.
A seasoned trainer who got hit by her and another Olympic male boxer said he couldn't tell the difference. When tested against Houston Alexander, a light heavyweight MMA fighter, Lucia hit just as hard as him. Yes, this makes her one of the hardest hitting women of all time.
Yeah, but she's not taking a punch directly to the face by a grown, buffed up man. She's not doing that.
Widely regarded as the greatest female boxer of all time, Lucia was undefeated in all her 54 fights with women. In kickboxing, she had 37 fights and 4 world titles. Most of her fights were won by knockout. In boxing, she had 17 fights with 2 world titles. 14 of her fights were by knockout. But what happened when she fought against a man? Fight fans, welcome back to another episode of Striking Breakdowns. In this episode, we explore how the best female fighter was defeated by a male fighter. This special event took place when Lucia Rijker already had 4 world titles in kickboxing. Training with the legendary Vos Gym from the Netherlands, her corner included the great Ernesto Hoost. By the time of this fight, Lucia ran out of kickboxing opponents and her trainer suggested it could be a good idea to fight a man.
You see, she ran out of opponents. She couldn't find anybody else to fight because she cleaned out every female. And they thought it was a good idea for her to take on a man. And this man she's going to fight, he's not a world champion. Not even very good. He's pretty much a tomato can, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on.
Her opponent was Somchai Jaidi, an amateur fighter in Australia. He had a total
An amateur fighter.
of 14 fights and was a local amateur champion. The first round was closely contested, but Somchai landed the cleaner power shots. He even knocked Lucia's head back with a big cross. The Thai also swept Lucia multiple times, once with a teep, another with a roundhouse, and then once inside the clinch. Somchai didn't look like he had better technique, but he was clearly faster and more powerful.
He's more powerful and faster because he has biological advantages by being a male. Now, his technique is not going to be as clean because he's an amateur. She is a four-time world champion. She has been at this a while. This guy's still an amateur. But let's move on.
Lucia was also able to sweep Somchai once, and for most of the round, she was the one pressing forward with aggression. Overall, Somchai covered the long range much more effectively than Lucia. This was important for him to be a sniper, allowing him to land clean shots without a response. It's obvious here that it wasn't the technique that made the difference, it was the power and speed. In the second round, it was clear that Lucia wanted to overwhelm her opponent and tried to steamroll him. She was able to put Somchai onto the ropes and start swinging. After landing several big punches,
I don't really see any of those really affecting him.
she had her opponent cornered. But that's when he started swinging back, landing a left and right hook with an uppercut that sealed the knockout.
Bam. Bam. Down
The fight
she
was immediately
goes.
called off, and the trainer came in to cradle Lucia. It was a courageous showing by the best female.
Wow. Second round knockout by a tomato can male. The greatest female fighter of all time got knocked out by a tomato can male. This fight should have never happened.
Female fighter of all time. After this sanctioned exhibition fight, Lucia would go on to be trained by Freddie Roach and dominate the world of boxing.
You want to know how much of a tomato can that male fighter was? You're about to hear it in a second here.
At one point, she was a superstar who received $1 million fight offer. When she retired, Lucia became a motivational speaker and a coach, at one point coaching Ronda Rousey for striking. As for her opponent Somchai, not much is known about him.
Not much is known about him since this fight. Nothing. Nobody knows him.
Contrary to what many people speculate, Somchai was not Thailand trained. He moved from Thailand to Australia and New Zealand at a young age and learned his Muay Thai locally. What we do know is that he wasn't part of the Thailand fight circuit and would not fare well against top Muay Thai fighters. What are your thoughts about man versus woman in a sports competition? Do you think they should sanction matches between the two genders? Drop a comment below to share your thoughts.
There you have it, guys. Wow. So you see, the greatest female fighter did not stand a chance against an average amateur tomato can fighter. I hope that the woke mob watches this video because they need to see this. Because I'm wondering, what are they going to have to say when they see a female get utterly destroyed in the ring by a guy that probably couldn't beat Tom Poe if Tom Poe was a real fighter. And if you guys watch Kickboxer, you know Tom Poe. Very, very great movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of the greatest female fighter going down in flames to a tomato can fighter? I guess they were fighting a Muay Thai or something like that in the ring. She didn't stand a chance. She got knocked out. No female could knock her out, ever. She wiped the surface with female competition, got in the ring one time with a below average male fighter, and got destroyed. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.